Folks, have you ever just sat back and watched the folks that are interested in real estate investing? I don't know about you, but this is something I thoroughly enjoy doing. And what I can tell you is some of the smartest people, we'll call it book smart, if you will, actually end up doing the least because they never get past the analytical or learning stage. I thought we should talk about this with the one and only Adrian Hernandez. How you doing, sir?
Good morning, everybody. What's going on, Zuber?
Hey man, have you ever ran into somebody who is always one piece of data away from doing something, and then there's always one more piece and one more piece? I'm sure you never see that.
Never, ever. I've that's a rare human being. That's funny. No,
Yeah.
it's interesting, guys. Out of all the agents that we have brought on, all of the different acquisitions guys, dispositions guys, people that I've had the opportunity to meet, it's amazing how many of us get caught up in the facts versus the action, right? We get so caught up in the knowledge, the learning. I need to know step A through Z before I can go take action, right? Before I can do what Michael's do the work, right? Before I actually do the work. And it's interesting, guys, because if you really look at it, how many of you people know a lot of really, really smart, like book smart? They can tell you what happened, in 1918. You could throw a random date out and they'll give you the facts, but yet it's hard for them to ever get anywhere. It's hard for them to accomplish some of the things that they want to accomplish. And it's interesting.
Yeah, again, I've lived in both sides of this equation, right? So I've been pretty honest. The first 5 years of my investing career, I thought the answer lived in my computer,
Mm,
right? It was the Excel spreadsheet. It was my access to a website. It was I could get there all by myself. And I now 22, 23 years in this business, it's very little about the computer. You got to talk to people. You
right.
got to network. You never know where your deal flow will come from. You'll never know where that one light, that little aha moment will come in. I've had Bruce Norris, somebody who was very famous in Southern California, now off in Florida. Rest in peace, Aaron Norris. Um, it's one meeting, one real estate meetup changed my life. We sold our houses, we moved into apartments, and the Great Recession didn't feel it. It was not a problem because of that one thing. So,
Right.
and then you got to network. I mean, and I say this as somebody who's done it 5 years, lived in my spreadsheet, right? Lived in this, and we didn't really go anywhere. It wasn't until you network, you build a team and deal flow and conversations, and you just get better and better. And this game is about, if you're a buyer, you have to talk to sellers.
Yep.
If you're wholesaling, you have to talk to owners. They're not sellers yet, they're owners. And there's all of these other pieces going on. It all starts and stops with talking to people.
Yep. And I see a lot of people, they get caught in that buy box section, right?
Yeah.
Because you talk about the
Oh
phases
yeah,
and
for
what to
sure.
do. And I notice like the buy box is where a lot of us get super analytical. We get
Dude, they're
super
comfortable. They're
right.
comfortable there.
And it's interesting. What we have to do, guys, is figure out that as fast as possible so you can take the action, right? And then for those of you that are listening that are like, yeah, I noticed that I do that. I notice I need to know A, B, C, and D before I take any action. Step one is being aware of it, right? And now that we're aware of it, just create some accountability, create some people around you that will help you take that action. Right. Because I remember having one guy in my office and we set up a pattern, right, where he knew the moment he started to go into his mind, he would be like, hey, I'm starting to go down that road. And I'm like, all right, what action can you take right now? Right. Not one thing can you learn. What action can you take right now? Well, who's that one person you can follow up with? Who's that one person you can call? And then he'll be like, wow. And you'll start to think, like, great, call that person. Right.
Yeah.
Because it's that action that's moving you forward. And so for a lot of us, I know I got caught up in it. I know I got caught up in it for a little while. I was trying to figure out, the perfect buy box, the perfect search box, right? And the perfect search box, the perfect buy box, right? I was saying search box for finding deals, but the
Yeah.
perfect buy box is the buy box you take action on initially,
Oh yeah.
right? Initially, then we change it. And then Zuber, what happens when we stack knowledge with the action?
then good things happen. Then it compounds, right? This is not a linear 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What I've experienced is it's a slow, and then it just, I don't know what that's called, logarithmic or whatever they call that.
Right.
It gets really fun really fast, but you've got to get through the early stages. And Jason Pritchard, uh, his story is one that's amazing because he's just a doer, right? He's an action taker. He was like, I only need, building a multi-million dollar business is hard. How he's always operated is I only worry about the next step. And I ask myself, who can help me? Who's done the next step? It's not how do I go from zero to multi-millions? It's what's the next step?
So good.
Just what's the next step? And then go find someone who's either been there or knows someone or get an introduction. Real estate investing, and I would argue life, is about people. And we just need to be more comfortable. We need to get off our screens and talk to people.
Yep.
And social media posting doesn't count. You got to talk to people, make connections, and share. You also, it's just not taking, you're sharing as well. Because, Jason is a great example. He comes on every other week. Not only is he going from multi-millions to deca millions now, but he reaches behind him and helps people come too. He is a resource for others. It's just this symbiotic relationship when you are a go-giver and you really care about moving yourself and others forward. It's fun.
Yeah, it's what we were put on this planet to do, right? We were put on this planet to learn something and to pass it down. So
Yeah.
I love what Jason and Strat. I love what those guys, Dean, had Dean here a couple of weeks ago. I love
I
what
saw
they're
that.
doing. I absolutely love what they're doing. And I like how they're competition, but yet they're not. They're in the same
Right.
market, right? They go after the same, like same thing with you, right? You guys are
Yeah.
all in that same market, but instead of being like, oh no, that's another company, it's let's collaborate. Let's do business together. And I love that ecosystem you guys are forming in Central California. That's awesome.
Those three guys are really making hay. So again, folks, if you find yourself telling yourself, I need one more piece of data, one more piece of data, one more piece of data, I don't think you do.
Yeah.
I think it's time to take action.
Go talk to one more person. Go knock on
talk
one
to
more
someone.
door. Right. It's
Exactly.
that's the stuff that's going to move the needle forward, guys. Especially right now. There's so much craziness, right? You can get lost in a world of craziness. Instead, get lost in a world of action.
Yeah. And again, in an environment like we are, the next 2 years are going to be for the people that know you, not who you know, but know you and know what you're looking for. You will get that call. I just finished with Anna Kelly, and she had 2 30-unit off-market apartment buildings come to her because brokers in her market know that she's a buyer. And these will be seller finance buildings. Who doesn't want a seller finance building? Today, you get a seller finance building, you got to put 35% down, given how tight lending is. She's probably going to get these deals for 5, maybe 10% down, which is going to explode her cash on cash. Folks, go talk to more people. Tell them what you're looking for.
Incredible.
Adrian, how can people find you?
Instagram, guys, at Adrian Hernandez. Appreciate you, Zuber. Let's do the work.
There you go. And you just put out some posts on this. So go to Adrian Hernandez on Instagram. Tell them you came from one rental at a time. That would be great. Thank you, buddy.
Let's go.